Guess who just had to go to the emergency vet? You! And he did not like it. He does not like strangers touching him without his permission. Like, he takes a second to warm up. He's a shelter dog. People would just poke and prod at him. Come a long way, but he's just like, I don't like when you touch me. So he doesn't like the vet. But he was at the emergency vet because he ate my entire chocolate cake. Okay, that's an exaggeration. He actually ate about 70% of it. I've trained my dogs and they're very good at no jumping on the counter and eating things on the counter. I was too cocky in my training. Matt has eaten chicken or will have fish back in the day, just sitting on the edge of the counters. Dogs never touched it. I've had lots of food sitting on the edge of the counters. Dogs never touch it. I'm an idiot and I left my chocolate cake on the edge of the counter. And luckily, I figured out what happened immediately. He was hanging out with me. He left the room for a second, came back in licking his lips and super proud of himself. And I kept going, why are you licking your lips? Stop licking your lips. And I grabbed his face and I was like, what is on your mouth? It was like this brown and red substance. I was like, what is this? So I went to go wash my hands in the kitchen because I just touched his face. And then I looked over and realized the cake was eaten. He didn't even take it off the counter. He just stood up there and ate the cake because he's a giant. So through my CPR training, my first aid training with animals, I know to induce vomiting with hydrogen peroxide. So I grabbed my hydrogen peroxide, gave him the appropriate amount. He didn't vomit. And then I realized it's because the hydrogen peroxide had already been opened. It wasn't a brand new bottle. For it to be actually effective, you need a brand new unopened bottle. So I called the emergency vet, and they were like, just bring him in. So brought him in. You're not allowed to go into the vet. Like, you can't even go into the lobby. You have to call them and stand outside and explain everything. And then someone comes out with dish gloves and a mask on to get the dog. He wasn't allowed to bring in his collar or his leash. They had to bring in the special leashes. And they took him. Colleen made the cake. So I knew exactly how much chocolate had been put in the cake and how much he had eaten. So through all that, because he's healthy, he's a healthy boy, and because he's an actual giant, they said it wasn't lethal, but he will have explosive diarrhea and lots of vomiting for the next 72 hours. So he's on a bland diet for the next 5 days, and he's got some meds for his tummy. So we had a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a moment, but we're good, and we're going home, and we're keeping an eye on him. But yeah, so that's my day so far. I had lots of work planned. I luckily got my podcast up, was in the middle of editing my vlog, and I need to film a video for tomorrow. Just a little 2-hour detour. Don't even worry about it. Everyone's still breathing. Snoop definitely has diarrhea right now. I got home, posted my vlog, because I was almost done editing it before I went to the emergency vet. I did that real quick, and now I have to go to PetSmart and pick up bland, wet dog food. Normally, you can just make the bland dog food yourself, like rice, chicken, some carrots, but I feel like grocery stores are limited, and I'm gonna save that for the peoples, even if I could find it, because it's really hard to find stuff like that right now, like rice and chicken. That's, get out of here, that's like gold right now. So I'm gonna check PetSmart to see if they have this, it's like ID. If you've ever had a dog that's had issues before, you know the dog food I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go try and find some of that. If not, I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store and figure out what to feed him. Dog food obtained! You wanna eat it? You want some? No, not hungry? Okay. It's been a long day. It's only 2:30. But I had to wake up and film because I didn't do it yesterday. I should have done it yesterday, but I was just emotionally and mentally exhausted from my birthday and then Snoop being at the emergency vet. So I didn't. And then, so I did that today, and then Snoop started puking everywhere. He's good now, but it's just been a lot. I don't even know what to do with myself. I have so much to do that I just don't, you know, like when it's just too much, you don't want to do anything. So that's where I am right now. Don't want to do anything. But I did try whipped coffee. It's on my main channel. I liked that.